everyone, my name is Athena Trouillot, and in this video I'm going to talk about some basics to help you with your pickleball serve. Before we get into that, if you want to evolve your game, make sure you subscribe to Selkirk TV so you can stay up to date with our lessons and podcasts. So to get into the pickleball serve, I feel like the serve as a beginner is something that a lot of people struggle with at the beginning. It's something that once you get the hang of it and the rhythm of it, it's pretty easy. But at first, before you get that rhythm, it can be pretty challenging to be consistent with the serve. And of course, it's important because it starts every point. So one of the biggest things that I see in terms of when somebody's starting out in pickleball and they're trying to serve, that's really important is your stance. So what should your stance be? I see sometimes people are trying what you would call open stance. So where your body is just completely facing the other side of the court and you're serving this way, that would be open stance. And then you have closed stance. So closed stance would be your body is just completely facing sideways. And then that would be a little bit more of a closed stance. And then you have semi-closed. So you're not really open, you're not really completely closed, you're somewhere in the middle. This is the stance that I would recommend for a beginner who's just starting to serve. The reason being is it makes it easier for timing the ball and being consistent in terms of your swing path. And it also gives you the space to swing in a comfortable manner, if that makes sense. So here with your open stance, you kind of have to swing to the side of your body, which for a beginner can be pretty challenging. And with the closed stance, you're facing sideways. So a lot of the times you're not even looking at where you're trying to make this ball bounce. So it makes it kind of difficult to be consistent again. So that is why I usually try to recommend semi-closed so that you can see your target and you're able to have that swing path be in a comfortable position. So you want to remember that for your footwork and your position on the serve. Semi-closed is what I would recommend starting with. Once you get more advanced and more comfortable, then you can sort of experiment with that open stance or the closed stance. The next thing that's really important is the ball. Do you toss it? Do you drop it? What makes it easier to be consistent? So a lot of the times I'll see people serving and they're like tossing it this way. Remember, for serving, the rule is that you have to make contact at or below your waist, which is around your belly button. So if I toss it, making sure that my contact point is at or below my waist is actually pretty difficult to time. So a lot of the times I'll see people tossing it, and just that makes it so much more difficult to be consistent with your serve and make sure that you're making the contact point at the right spot. So what I would recommend is actually dropping the ball. This makes it easier because there's less timing involved, and I can practically make contact with the ball as soon as it drops from my hand, which leaves less to chance, right? It just makes it easier so I don't have to time as much. So for my serve, I want to probably make contact as soon as the ball drops, and this allows me to be more consistent. The last part of the serve that's a basic one that I see people struggle with sometimes is where they should drop this ball from. So sometimes I'll see people that are kind of in this position as they're serving to start. Now, if the ball is sort of to my left or in front of me, my natural swing path is probably going to take the ball towards my left, which makes it hard for me to hit kind of the center of the box. And if the ball is completely to my right or behind me, that also makes it really difficult because as I'm making contact with this ball, my paddle is practically facing towards my right. So what I recommend is somewhere in the middle, right? So I'm here and I'm gonna take my arm kind of to like a 45-degree angle, so not all the way to in front of me or not all the way to the side, sort of in the middle. And here, my natural swing path kind of goes towards that middle of the diagonal box, so that I have a lot of cushion and margin for error on the other side of the court with this serve. So 3 things just in quick summary. 1, you want to use that semi-closed stance in terms of your position when you're serving. 2, try not to toss the ball or do anything fancy that makes it harder for you to time. And 3, try to drop the ball from a position that makes it easier for your natural swing path to take the ball where you want it to go, which is probably towards the middle of the box that's diagonally across from you. So those are just a couple of basics to help you with your serve when you're just starting out.